Causes and effects of the Russian Revolution. The Russian Revolution. Between 1890 and 1910, the population of major Russian cities such as St. Petersburg and Moscow nearly doubled, resulting in overcrowding and destitute living conditions for a new class of Russian industrial workers. A population boom at the end of the 19th century, a harsh growing season due to Russia's northern climate, and a series of costly wars, starting with the Crimean War. It meant frequent food shortages across the vast empire. Large protests by Russian workers against the monarchy led to the Bloody Sunday massacre of 1905. Hundreds of unarmed protesters were killed or wounded by the Tsar's troops. The massacre sparked the Russian Revolution of 1905, during which angry workers responded with a series of crippling strikes throughout the country. In 1917, the Russian Revolution began and was one of the most explosive political events of the 20th century. The violent revolution marked the end of the Romanov dynasty and centuries of Russian imperial rule. During the Russian Revolution, the Bolsheviks, led by revolutionary Vladimir Lenin, seized power and destroyed the tradition of Tsarist rule. The Bolsheviks would later become the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. In the early 1900s, Russia was one of the most impoverished countries in Europe, with an enormous peasantry and a growing minority of poor industrial workers. In 1861, the Russian Empire finally abolished serfdom. The emancipation of serfs would influence the events leading up to the Russian Revolution by giving peasants more freedom to organize.
One of the causes of the Russian Revolution was World War I, because it killed most of the Russian army. Bloody Sunday and the Russian defeat also led to the revolution. There was a government which was very corrupt, which caused soldiers to refuse to stop riots that happened because of the scarcity of food, which caused starvation amongst the people.
The effects of the Russian Revolution was one of the effects of the Russian Revolution was the spread of communism throughout the world. The Russian Civil War, distrust in Russian monarchy led to the Russian people to not support the Tsar, and without the people, the monarchy wouldn't work as well. And also the division of the world into communist and capital camps, known as the Cold War, complete transformation of Russian society, government, economy, and the end of the autocratic rule.